Just trying to say, how do you take 20 people and get them to live, to move on peaceably together? You make some decisions on, you make some rules. You make some guidelines. You say you got some do's and some don'ts. Because that's the only way that you can intentionally think that you can move forward peaceably. Yes, sir.
Just a thought going back to the third seal a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When the Second World War happened and Germany came down, their money was worthless, and pretty much you had to pay a day's wages for bread.
That's right.
At that time. And looking at also the Second World War and the First World War, is basically when communists began to take a foot. There was much slaughter within that war as well. Moving to the fourth seal that you have there, we're kind of right there in the midst of it now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, all of what's going on is the underlying tenets to it are happening right now.
Oh, yeah. When you talked about the third seal, about a day's wages for a day's wages for a loaf of bread. Technically, we're kind of right there already, even though we don't really see it, simply because they perverted the money system back in 1913. So what used to be a day's wages now is actually, we're paying more for it now, a loaf of bread now, than what we did in 1913 because of the perversion of the money system. Because a $20 piece, gold piece, was worth $20. Now a piece of gold piece is worth probably $2,000 almost right now. So the inflation rate has changed because of what's been going on with the perversion of money and all this currency and New World Order stuff taking a hold in 1913. So that started the
Federal Reserve.
That started the foot of that going forward.
That's a good point. Inflation is a hidden tax. I mean, you know how you pay your taxes, but it's something if you even know, like you think you used to buy whatever, pay for something. Okay, I'm just adding to him. But what I'm thinking is Islam. Islam is like this beast that you don't even, it's like this undercurrent that's been going on, the pale, the green, because when you look at Islam, their flag is green. Everything they think their holiest color is green, okay, if you notice. And that's what the pale horse really in Greek, whatever it is.
Actually, I got them on the next slide, because the fourth seal will continue, because it's just so much to have.
Because with the Freemason, that's the, if you want to boil the elite down, it comes down to the basis foundation is Freemasonry, or this secret society, whatever. And they put the Bible, the Tanakh, and the Quran. They said if we ever come to a decision, we're always going to go with the Quran. They're going to go with the Muslim. You know what I'm saying? That's what their belief is. They say if you can't beat them, let's join them. So they infiltrated all the churches, making pastors, deacons, elders, all Freemason. And when he was in the army, they were trying to make him. So throughout the government, that there are Freemasons everywhere. But it's like even Benjamin Netanyahu, and every president that has come, they've forced them to be every astronaut. They forced them to sign an agreement. You're a secret society.
Understood. And let me just say, part of this particular, I guess, presentation is not to really go into the undercurrents. Yeah. Only because it's to focus on really just the summary right on the surface, only because all of those would just be sidebars that just could go. I mean, again, every one of these could be a sidebar in a conversation, and I'm all for that. Just not just right here, only because we're going to go through the entire group. Just to state that actually here, with the New World Order, there has to be one military. There has to be one currency, whatever that may be. There has to be one religion. There has to be everybody agreeing to be at the table. All of the nations that came before The powers that be, well, that's what it said. And that's where they will be. A representation of the United Nations, a Security Council, some power broken force of nations, living and standing together. And what will you have to do in order to play ball in the world as a culmination of coming together?
Worship the beast.
You're going to have to, if not, no, submit. And we're going to get that for the next slide. We'll have to submit to this power. And that's where, again, it's all about, wait, click for me, the next one. You're going to have to submit to this one. No, I'm going to say, like I just said, I don't want to keep on breaking it down in every aspect. I want to keep it moving because some of it's going to be in what's actually forthcoming. The middle of the week is what the fourth seal is. The middle of the week is where we are now. Now you have 1,200 days remaining, 42 months remaining, half years remaining, which is also broken up to time, times plural, and half a time. You will have the beast power actually rising up as these of those 10 crowns, those 10 leadership nations. The beast will rise from within. It says that one will rise up and 3 will fall in its place. So there will be cunning, there will be greed, there will be all types of undertakings going on. But what you'll also have is the rise of the Antichrist, the rise of the false prophet, and getting to where Daniel spoke of the jizzled, the supposed to be grizzled and bay horse. See the spell checker do. Grizzled and bay horse. The other direction, as you were speaking of, the south. You have the north, the south, the north, east, and the west. That's your first 3 nations, all choosing to come together. But for to have one world order, who needs to also join? The south. And that is Ishmael. That's the Arab nations. That is the Islamic region. They have to at least be given the opportunity for this world to go on and move as one. But what is Ishmael's pedigree? He's a wild man, always against everybody. And so looking at Daniel 40 to 42 right there, the word says that the north shall come at the south like a whirlwind. So the South never had its region. This is its opportunity to be a part of the collective. But the South, for its all intents and purposes, will not agree. They will not allow themselves to just surrender to group authority. And in doing so, the word says that a whirlwind, because now you have 3 regions coming against one. And they come. And if nothing else, they make their point to the south. I get the detail of, does that mean the south is destroyed? If nothing else, it means that the south knows that they will have been given the opportunity to play ball. And then a whirlwind will come at them to let them know that if you're not going to play, the beast is still in charge. And the beast will be in charge by the Antichrist, who will lead from this midst of the week going forward. Now, what's your question as far as that? Because I wanted to just let you know that I did have that portion coming forward to ride through the 4th seal and then paving the way into the 5th seal.
Okay, this thing about this New World Order, wanting this one world system, the Federal Reserve is just here in America, but in other countries you got different names, right? World Bank, I don't know all the different single bank, you know what I mean? So what it is they're always after Iran, Cuba, and North Korea, because those are the 3 that have not submitted to the New World Order, to the One World Bank, to the Federal Reserve, whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? So you notice that they're trying to pit Iran, and they want us to go to war with North Korea, you know what I'm saying? You notice how they're trying to like get our president to try to strike, whatever, you know what I mean? But bottom line, the reason why they want to go to war with Iran and Cuba, they probably try to be friends with Cuba because Cuba's communist, North Korea's communist, and Iran is, you know, for all intents and purposes, communist. But they want to go to war with these because they're trying to get them to buckle and come into the One World Bank thing. you know.
It'll always be the push for, in order to get along, everybody will need to submit to some degree. But those who will not submit and will resist, that will be that pale horse, that grizzled and bay horse. And that is that South region, Egypt, the king of the South, and all its cohorts, to whatever degree, Iran, where do they really fit as a Persian with the Arabs? Do they fit otherwise? But again, we'll see in time. We know clearly there will be a player in the future of how things are going. They're a player now. But when it comes to the overflow of things, then we see that this will put us right into the abomination of desolation. Standard word ought not to be. Which means there has to be a reconstructed temple to a degree, if nothing else, even if not in its full essence, and reconstituted sacrifices in order for it to be blasphemed. It has to be there. So can this happen today?
It's happening.
It's already happening.
They got the temple ready to go.
Well, no, I'm saying, while it's not up happening, even though Gideon's, that's what I'm saying, we're in a state of, you could build something in a week. You can throw it up, snap of the fingers. But if nothing else, Father will make sure that we know when. We know that there's prefabrication. The cornerstones are ready. You got every 9 yards of the Sanhedrin reacclimated. But when it's actually in effect, and Father hasn't put it together for it to be in secret, it will be known. And we shall know that it's happening. And when it happens, someone will blaspheme Yah's Holy of Holies. And the word says, when you see this, when you see this man, an abomination of desolation is a person, when you see that person standing where they should not be, because who should be in the Holy of Holies? The high priest. But if you see somebody else in the Holy of Holies, then clearly, we out of order. When you see that somebody else, also think of what you know about who that somebody else is, because all of those pieces will go together. Again, the word says that someone will bring a peace agreement together when you see the words that they follow and then the deeds that they do. Some say, well, does this person know who they are? I don't know. But we'll know them by their deeds. And the deeds, that's why we know the word. We can't lose. Dying is not to lose. Death is not a loss, as long as you die in what? In Yeshua. So we don't lose. Our key is to make sure that we don't try to save our life and lose it.
Right.
The Antichrist will be given power to wear out the saints for those 3.5 years. The saints will have the option, because when you see the abomination, what you're supposed to do? Flee. And that's not fleeing out of the city necessarily. That's fleeing where? Into the mountains, into the wilderness. Which means if getting out of the city is the better thing, that's right now. Because when you see this, what's the return ticket for fleeing to the mountains? It's a one-way ticket. So the best answer is, before that red horse attacks, where would you want to be? In the city or out of the city? You want to be out of the city, which means you want to be actually living in a more rural state that's less tied in to the day-to-day man's government. But that's the second seal. When this point, the fifth seal, which is the fourth seal into the fifth seal occurs, that's when you're leaving less to go survive for broke. But you already should be at less. What did Lot say? They told him to leave the city and go up into the mountains. And what did Lot say? Oh man, I can't transition like that. I mean, a whole lot of. I mean, I buy off the shelf right now. I mean, come on now. I mean, my stuff is processed and lasts for months, before I even get it. And you telling me to go live day by day? But if you decide by choice, that's what I said, Father looks at our actions, to go and say, well, let me go see if I can start to go out to the country and, maybe plow the ground a little bit and maybe raise my own animals. Start to get a little bit more involved with nature.
Right.
That transition from that to fleeing unto the mountains, at least I'm already taking care of my own self versus the world taking care of me. Because if I'm going from the world, I don't even know what to do. That's what Lot said. I don't know what to do. I mean, what? Build a shelter? What that? How do you do that? Start a fire? How you do that? I mean, keep warm? How you do that? We rehearse right now, and Father is very, very thankful for the rehearsal that we've done. We got more rehearsing to do, though. We got some more / different rehearsal to do. Survival part has to become a part of rehearsal. And surviving just to make it through the day has to become a part of who we are and what we'll become.
The two
Yes, ma'am.
witnesses, if you will, I believe it's Judah and Israel. That's my thoughts. You know what I mean? The two candlesticks that are before
Yes.
the throne. Okay, because it do that in the
Well, I mean, I keep it to just being
right. Okay.
to be announced. Because
Yeah.
I mean,
It's in the scriptures, but I
well,
don't
no,
know.
I don't agree. See, that's what I'm saying, because I don't look at it as a determined answer.
But like always David says, we're not going to be buying and selling like the Babylonian system. Come out of her, my people. We're going to be sowing and reaping God's way.
Yes.
That's,
Oh, no, again, I mean, the witnesses are real, and their testimony will be the same days of the Antichrist's tribulation. So, what does it say? Pray that our flight not be in what?
Sabbath.
In the winter. What will the witnesses have the power to do? To hold back the rain. So you see, so therefore you can see the harmony that whomever the witnesses are to be, but how there's the synergy of, if I'm fleeing out in the wilderness for X amount of time, it would be great to know that there's somebody who has the power to make the elements maybe work more in my favor while I'm actually trying to live out in the elements during that same period. Father is already taking care of everything from A to Z,
Right.
but we got to be willing to walk in this light. But again, some will flee, some will try to flee and will not make it. Because what happened to the adversary what happened to the church? That the woman that fled into the wilderness, in Revelation 12, he chased the woman into the wilderness. And what did Father do? He opened up the earth. A nice earthquake, a nice chasm to separate the adversary from his own.
Amen.
Yah did that. The woman didn't just outrun him. She didn't just outsmart him. Because you have people say, well, you got GPS, you got satellites, you got all of whatever. But if you got you got something that's greater than any technology that could ever be thought of, because Yah is the one that says, Satan, you can touch Job. Satan, you can't take his life. Satan, you can do Satan, you can't do that. So it doesn't matter what the government knows, can't, want to do. Yah has got to decide what he will let them do. Yes, sir.
But we need to be where he needs us to be
Oh, great.
for that moment.
To start off, if he says when you see X flee, you need to be in a mindset to move. Without moving, well, he didn't say that he opened up the earth to keep you in town. Right. He opened up the earth so that the woman who fled would not able to be overtaken. Right. But what did the adversary do when he got mad at the fact that he couldn't get that woman? He turned to go and get what? The remnant. Which means the same the same mindset. Those of the same way of life. Those of holiness. But just as we talked about the other night, the 5 wise and the 5 foolish. They all equated to the righteous. But 5 of those righteous clearly were zealots in their righteousness, and 5 of those righteous, oh, I mean, hey, I keep the Sabbath, I do this, but y'all gonna take care of me when that time comes. So not all the righteous will never all think the same on every single point, and all this, that, and the other. But the adversary in that case, he turned and went back. Because what's going on back, how is life being run back in the city? The mark of the beast. You can't buy or sell without doing something that will deny Yah, deny his son, in order to be able to move and to live in and about that system. You can't just be, hitting up in a ceiling and just make it. And, again, you can try. But what they said, your brother gonna turn you in. Your sister gonna turn you in. Your mama gonna turn you in. I mean, hey, if I'm only getting, as we talking about it, this much of a portion each day, right now, and you mean I knew y'all 3 up in that ceiling? Judas did it for what? 30 pieces, huh? I mean, come on now. I mean,
loaf of bread, boy, you done.
Again, Satan says this is the time for him to wear out the saints. Yah is giving him authority. Smoke them out. Whatever it is. If money is smoke them out, a little more cash on the side, Shane, what's your weakness? If that's what I got to give you to get them, I mean, I'm on the hunt. And if you're willing to turn somebody over, then therefore, so for all of those, I pray for those who don't believe right now that fleeing is actually a real thing. Now, I can't tell you that it's going to happen in my lifetime. It just seems like it will. But I know one thing, it's in my mind that I'm preparing and I've accepted that should the moment arise, I'm on the move. I went to the mountains for the reason I want to know, where would I even think to go? Because again, flee where? Without a where, then again, I'm fleeing where? What? Run down the street? When I get to again, where am I going? So like I said, I thank the Father for just all of our contributions to just a little this and that. The whole point is, you gotta have direction. Pray that your flight not be on a Shabbat. Because they may have a martial law checkpoint. I'm right now, I'd like to get back 50 miles north of Georgia. But hey, if I can't get past the checkpoints, then I can't get to my starting point. And my starting point then, somebody said, what? But where I told them I went up to the mountain, it was like, I heard that they got the Klan over there, and they got some gangs, some other, undesirable gangs that, pretty much spend time and, in those mountains doing this, that, and the other. What does Scripture say about what's going to happen when we flee? Because see, for me, I love the Word, because the Word just gives me all peace when people say statements, and I'm like, but that ain't what the Word say. You telling me what a man would think. But what does the Word say? The Word says that when you go out, those that are in will come out and will not be allowed to go back and enter thereunto. I ain't got to worry about it. Just go ahead and keep it warm for me. That's all you're telling me, is that you're just keeping it warm. Leave the stove running, whatever the case. Because Father has already told me that He's got us. Amen. If we trust Him to simply do it. See, we can rationalize our way out of not keeping Yah's word over